A Texas football player ejected from a game sprinted onto the field and attacked a referee. The game was being played at Edinburg High School. Edinburg is near the border of Mexico, around 150 miles southeast of Laredo. The game was November 3rd, and Edinburg defensive lineman Emmanuel Duran had just been ejected from the game for committing a personal foul and also getting an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty after a late hit and heated exchange with the referee.
We got 2 fouls on the defense. We got a personal foul, late hit on the quarterback, number 88, and a non-sportsmanlike conduct, number 88 on the defense, has been disqualified.
Duran was the District 31 6A Defensive Player of the Year last season and also a star wrestler. No word on if he's going to face any criminal charges for this. The referee was able to leave under his own power. The Monitor of McAllen reports he was evaluated for a concussion and did not return to the game. Edinburg ended up winning the game. Katie Johnston for CBS 11 News.
It's a stunning moment, something you don't expect to happen at a high school football game. The player in question is a star athlete for Edinburg High School. He lost control, slammed the ref to the ground after getting a pair of personal fouls.
Edinburg High School junior defensive end Emmanuel Duran, number 88 at the top of the screen, breaks through the line of scrimmage and tackles far San Juan Alamo's quarterback, but it's ruled a late hit. As the players were separating, Emmanuel Duran apparently exchanged words with the referee and gets another flag. Referee Fred Garcia explained what happened to the crowd.
We got 2 fouls on the defense. We got a personal foul, late hit on the quarterback, number 88, and a non-sportsmanlike conduct, number 88 on the defense, has been disqualified.
After being ejected from the game, Duran runs back onto the field and straight toward Garcia, colliding with the 58-year-old and sending him to the turf. Players and coaches from both sides rushed the field to get Duran away from the ref and then to take care of Garcia. Garcia would eventually walk off the field under his own power. He was treated for a shoulder injury and appeared to have symptoms of a concussion. Duran was escorted out of the stadium by police.
After the game, the Edinburg coach would not comment on what happened during the game. At Edinburg, police do not have any further updates either. Edinburg won this game. It remains to be seen what punishment Duran will face from all this.
Hello and welcome to CBS 4 Valley at 6. I'm Chris Jacobs.
And I'm Faith Woodard. First on 4, we have CBS 4's Bryce Helms is live in the studio to give us a look at what the UIL has done in the past and the reactions following the team's removal. Bryce?
That's right, Faith. This is not the first time a referee was attacked during a Texas high school football game. 5 years ago, John Jay High School football players slammed into a referee. Yesterday, Edinburg senior defensive lineman Emmanuel Duran ran back out onto the field after being ejected from the game and slammed referee Fred Garcia to the ground in a move that drew sharp criticism from across the country. The Texas Association of Sports Officials released a statement on the incident. On the evening of December 3rd, 2020, another vicious and deliberate assault was inflicted on a Tasso football official by a player who had just been ejected from the contest. Unfortunately, this type of blindsided assault on an official while working on the field is not new to Texas football. Though this latest incident is only hours old, Tasso has begun our investigation and started collaboration with the UIL to bring this matter to a suitable disposition. Here is that incident from Thursday night's game.
Number 88 on the defense has been disqualified.
Today, Edinburg Consolidated Independent School District decided to remove the entire Edinburg High School football team from the playoffs, a move that people in the community disagree with.
I don't think it's right, man. I played football myself in high school, and I think that's messed up, you know? Like, those kids have an opportunity to go somewhere else, but because of him, it's not, you know?
It's going to be harsh for them, and they just got to keep their head up and move forward and learn from this, you know, for the future.
Jamarian Owens, a defensive tackle for nearby Mercedes High School, tweeted out his sympathies for the Edinburg players. Duran was a multi-sport athlete and finished 5th in state at wrestling in March this year. Breaking this hour, the University Interscholastic League has condemned the actions of Duron, saying, quote, "The game in no way represents the values of the UILA, and that strong and appropriate measures will be taken in response," end quote. Meanwhile, the two players from John Jay who committed a similar act in 2015 were banned for a year, making it unlikely that Duron will be able to compete in wrestling this winter. Duron was charged with assault Friday morning and has posted a $10,000 bond. Working for you in the studio, I'm Bryce Helms.
A Texas football player is now charged with assault after being ejected from a game, sprinting back onto the field and attacking a referee. The game was being played at Edinburg High School December 3rd. Edinburg is around 150 miles southeast of Laredo. Edinburg defensive lineman Emmanuel Duron had just been ejected from the game for committing a personal foul and also getting an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty after a late hit and heated exchange with the referee. Moments later, though, he came sprinting onto the field and blindsided the ref. Duron was the District 31 6A Defensive Player of the Year last season and also a star wrestler. The Monitor newspaper reports he's now been charged with assault. The referee was able to leave the game under his own power. The Monitor of McAllen reports he was evaluated for a concussion and did not return to the game. Edinburg ended up winning that game, but the school district says the team is going to withdraw from the playoffs. Katie Johnston for CBS 11 News.
And it means everything.
It's the state's most celebrated sport.
People in this area really rally around their own, especially on the football field.
But on Thursday night, Andrew McCullough, who writes for the Monitor in McAllen, witnessed a scary moment.
It's kind of exciting, and it started off that way, but this incident kind of happened right at the start of the second quarter.
An Edinburg football player in the Rio Grande Valley tackled a ref following his ejection.
In that specific incident, he got flagged twice on one play. The first one was for roughing the passer after the whistle had blown the play dead a while ago. The second one was for saying something in response to that first flag to the ref. You get two personal foul calls, you're out of the game regardless, let alone on the same play.
First of all, I was hoping that the official was okay.
Xavier Velasquez is the vice president of the Dallas Football Officials Association. He worries this incident may affect recruitment efforts.
One of the biggest issues that we have is retention as it is, because let's get one thing straight. We don't do this for the money. We do this because we like to do it.
Police charged the player with assault, and Edinburg School District called off the rest of the season.
I feel really bad, obviously, for the other players on this team who are kind of suffering through this.
It's the time of year where football teams are talking playoffs, but in the Rio Grande Valley, they're talking punishment after an ugly hit Thursday night.
We just hope that, the official's okay. We hope that the player comes out of this a lot better.
In Dallas, I'm Alex Rozier.
Live from the Valley's News Channel, this is Channel 5 News at 6.
Let us play! Let us play! Let us play! That protest just wrapped up in Edinburg within the last 15 minutes. The Bobcat football team denied their request to return to the playoffs. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Tony Velasquez Jr. in for Oscar.
And I'm Christine Galvan. Dina is also off today. The Bobcats booted from the playoffs. The entire team impacted following this move by teammate Emmanuel Duron. He's number 88. You can see him charging at a referee, knocking him to the ground. It happened during last night's game against PSJA. Number 88, the Bobcats' star defensive player, had just been ejected from the game following a pair of penalties, including a late hit on PSJA's quarterback.
That player is now locked up at the Hidalgo County Jail, charged with assault causing bodily injury. We've reached out to the referee who was hit and his family, and so far no response.
The Bobcats won their game last night. Under normal circumstances, that win would have advanced them into the playoffs.
But instead, their season is over. Channel 5's Monica Deanda live outside the administration building. Monica, those players, what do they have to say?
Tony, Christine, just about 10 minutes ago, more than 20 Edinburg High School football players came out of the district building after being in there for nearly 1 hour. And they came out saying that their season was over. They had been out here rallying together, protesting the district's decision to take them out of the playoffs. The district announced that decision earlier today following this incident last night, where Bobcat defensive end number 88, Emmanuel Duron, is seen rushing at referee Fred Gracia. Just prior to that, Duron had been flagged for a pair of penalties and was ejected from the game. The Bobcats went on to win, but this morning the district issued this statement that reads, in part, We extend a sincere apology to the referee and his family on behalf of the Edinburg CISD, Board of Trustees, and administration. We apologize to the athletes, staff, and our school community. The statement also confirming the decision to pull the entire team out of the playoffs. Senior offensive lineman Francisco Coronado reacting to the decision.
Unfortunately, our football season is over. They told us the verdict, their minds are made up. But I just want to thank everybody for coming out here. I appreciate each and every single one of you.
The district adding the investigation is ongoing and appropriate disciplinary action will be taken once they understand the facts and circumstances underlying the incident. Duron is now facing assault charges, and Edinburg CISD Police Chief Rick Perez told us referee Gracia was conscious and treated by paramedics on location. We did reach out to the ref and his family, but they did not want to comment at this time. The UIL did release a statement saying in part that they echo the school district saying the physical contact with a sports official is never appropriate. The UIL strongly condemns the actions and the behavior at last night's game, and they applaud the school administration for removing the team from the playoffs. Now, just before news time, we did get an updated statement from Edinburg CISD saying that if they had not made the decision, the UIL would have made the decision to remove the team. So again, the Edinburg Bobcats are now out, and that decision means that both Edinburg North and PSJA North, who are facing off tonight, are now both advancing to the playoffs. In Edinburg, Monica de Anda, Channel 5 News at 6.
Live from the Valley's News Channel, this is Channel 5 News at 10.
Charged with assault and out on bond. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Christine Galvan.
And I'm Tony Velasquez Jr. in for Oscar. Edinburg High's top defensive player is no longer behind bars.
But Emmanuel Duran now has a mugshot. He's charged with assault, and his teammates are also paying a price.
Unfortunately, our football season is over.
They're the latest developments in a story that has the entire sports world talking. It's the tackle just about everyone in the country is talking about. This move by Edinburg High School football player Emmanuel Duran. Watch number 88. You can see him charging at, then blindsiding the referee, knocking him to the ground, after being ejected from last night's game following a pair of penalties. That reckless hit landing Duran in the Hidalgo County Jail, facing assault charges. The school district issued this statement, which reads in part, "We extend a sincere apology to the referee and his family on behalf of the Edinburg CISD, Board of Trustees, and administration, and we apologize to the athletes, staff, and our school community." In that statement, they also announced their decision to yank the entire team from the playoffs, essentially ending their season.
I don't believe that the rest of the team should be punished for something that one individual did. We maintained our composure, and we played a tough football game, and we ended up winning our game, and we believe that we should be able to play in the playoffs.
More than 20 Edinburgh football players rallied outside the district office tonight to protest that decision by the school district.
My heart dropped when I heard this morning because since I was a sixth grader, my dream was to go to the playoffs.
But within minutes, their request denied. And now, the Bobcats, who would have been in the playoffs after last night's win, are done for the year.
Our football season is over. They told us the verdict. Their minds are made up.
As for referee Fred Gracia, we're told he was conscious and treated by paramedics on location. And we've reached out to the referee and his family, but so far, no response. Emmanuel Duran bonded out earlier this evening.